Hey mamas, it's Kristen Noel, founder of the Intuitive Divorce, and I'm popping on here right after class with my beautiful team member, Master Coach Joe Young. And wow, wow, that's all I can say. Wow. Um, it was so beautiful, so heartfelt, so full of feelings today. We started our class, it was one of our teaching classes, and the topic was rules of engagement. And another term for rules of engagement is boundaries.
Boundaries.
Boundaries, which is music to Joe's ears. And it just has been coming up a lot for our moms. And one of the things that, well, we know this very well, is just that there's so much that a mom is faced with while she's going through divorce, and it transcends the divorce paperwork and the filings and the court dates and the lawyers and all the people that you need on your team. And the crux of it and the core of that is really what's going on for this mama. And so much unfolds and gets unpacked during this process, which is why it's so important to be able to have support and to be able to have a place like this sacred container where women show up each week and we just let it rip and we process what's coming up. And so many scenarios. And for example, going back to the topic today, which was the rules of engagement, this is an area where so many moms struggle because, and I would even venture to say that one of the reasons that they ended up in a divorce is because they've been spending so much of their marriage people pleasing, trying to squeeze themselves into places that they don't fit, saying yes when they want to say no, denying their needs, their wants, their desires, pretending they don't see something or feel something or need something or hear something. And it backfires. And it
Mhm.
really ultimately backfires. So we often confuse boundaries with being an unloving thing, something that someone else is going to get mad about. And yet, it's actually the complete opposite. Because the most loving thing you can do for yourself and anyone you're in relationship with is be clear. Be clear, be concise, say what you mean what you say, walk the walk, and talk the talk. And so
Yeah,
much to unpack today, right?
yeah, there really is. And the thing about it is when you don't do that, right, you're building resentments. You come at people from an unclear space. And so, when we know what we're available for, as you talked about a lot today, when we know what we're available for and we communicate that, then we're able to have relationships with people that are clean and clear and real and authentic and all the things. And there's not this underlying, well, I guess I got to do that, or I guess I better keep my mouth shut there, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's the most loving thing we can ever do is to honor ourselves,
And
period.
everybody, listen, and everybody would agree, that sounds great. Yeah, I agree with that. That sounds wonderful. Doing it because it's a muscle that hasn't been used is not so easy until you start doing it, until
Mhm.
you start realizing, wow, I just cut out a lot of crap. I have got just cut out a lot of chaos. I don't have to have this back and forth. I don't have to get triggered every time I see my ex texting me. I don't have to, spiral down. And it's so amazing. It comes in so many ways. And again, I get like nobody likes no unless they're the one saying it. But we must set the rules of engagement. One of the things that I actually said in class today was that the person that is betraying your boundaries most is you. So it's a wonderful thing to realize because guess what? You can control that. You can change that. You can say, okay, this is what I'm available for, and I'm no longer available for this. Obviously, mothers going through a divorce are going to have to communicate with their exes because they have children together. But guess what? You don't have to convey anything other than conversation and logistics about your children. And that it's so easy that whenever you get into any communication, it starts to spiral off. It starts to go down another path. It starts to go down another tangent. And then everybody's all like worked up again. No, just get really clear. This is what I'm available for. This is what I'm not available for. This is what I'm here to talk about. Sorry, not going to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the kids. Let's just stick to the cat, this guy. And you just keep saying it over and over and over, reaffirming what that boundary is. And when that boundary continuously gets crossed, then you make another move. Maybe you have to have intervention from your attorney. Maybe you have to get on a parenting app for communication.
Maybe you have to hang up the phone occasionally or leave the room
Yeah.
or just decide that, you know what, I've communicated the fact that this is what I'm available for and that person isn't in respect of that, then you can simply walk away until they are.
Hmm.
We always have choice about what we engage in. And that's why I love the concept of the rules of engagement.
Hmm.
And it's very important, and we talked about this with one mom today, to be clear about what that is for yourself. Is this something I'm available for? Is this something that feels good to me? Is this something that serves me? Is this something I'm all right with? Because boundaries are always between you and you. So we have to know what that is first, right? And then once we're clear, how do I very clearly and lovingly, if we can, communicate that to another person so that they have clarity? Because sometimes what we do is we decide something ourselves and we forget to clearly communicate that to the other person.
Hmm.
And the other people out there are not mind readers, right? If you're constantly crossing your own boundary and then they come in and cross what you've asked, well, you've set the precedent for that.
It's on
So
you. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So being really clear with yourself and then how do I communicate what that is to another person without it being about necessarily them changing their behavior. So, for example, today we use the example of someone who needed to communicate with their ex, and their ex was taking advantage of that. And all of a sudden it became one text and then three texts, and now the texting all day long. And it's like, but the door was opened. So when you said, I'm only willing to engage with you one time a day, and now you're engaging with me all day long, and I'm opening it and reading it, that's you crossing your own boundary,
Hmm.
right? Because no matter what, your energy is being impacted. And so we do have to change the rules of engagement with people and say, this is now what I'm available for. And they might not always like it. And that's okay, because eventually they're going to get used to this new rule.
Well, the other thing that's so important about that is the exploration of your own why. Why am I making myself available for this? Why am I consistently setting myself up when I know this person triggers me? When
Yeah.
I know this makes me feel a certain way? Typically, for the mamas in the intuitive divorce, these beautiful, soulful, big-hearted, loving mamas, they were raised to be good girls. They want to have a conscious divorce. They want to be compassionate. They don't want to create any more chaos. And maybe somewhere deep down inside, they feel a little guilty because nobody taught me that it's okay to have wants, desires, and needs. Nobody taught me that it's okay to have boundaries, healthy boundaries. The bottom line is you cannot divorce someone and soothe them. You cannot be responsible, even if you've done this in your entire marriage, you cannot be responsible for putting their life back together for them. We had a mama today. I mean, this is where I was like, time out. She was even going to help her soon to be ex find an attorney. I was like, no, that's a recipe for disaster. This is not about revenge. This is not about chaos. This is not about fighting. This is actually about clarity. This is actually about just saying it is okay. I'm doing my own thing in the background, which is exploring, do I feel guilty here? Am I doing this out of guilt? Why do I need to sit on the phone for an hour and a half and rehash something? No.
Yeah.
Do I want to be doing that? Probably. If I wanted to be doing that, I'd still be married to you.
Yeah. And a lot of this is about pattern breaking, right? It's like we've been in the pattern of taking care of for so long that even in divorce, we can still want to take care of our ex.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean we will never advocate for people to be unkind, for people to be completely selfish and cutthroat. That's not
Vengeful
what
and
we're
yeah.
about here, right? What we are about is it is time for you to step up and take care of you now. And
Hmm.
take all that energy you've been putting out to everybody else and to bring it back to yourself. And that means breaking a pattern. And so when we break a pattern, we're going to feel guilty because it's not familiar yet.
When we
And so
break a
the guilt
pattern of
comes in.
Yeah, when we break a pattern of dysfunction, right?
Yes,
So, like
yes.
exactly as you're saying, when we interrupt the dysfunction, I know if I pick up the phone, I'm going to be on for an hour. But there was a mom that was late to class today. Here we are in a class for rules of engagement, and she's late to class because her ex is kind of spiraling out, soon to be ex, and he's spiraling out. And I'm hopeful that they're going to be able to figure this out amicably because that's what we don't want a runaway train here, but at the same time, what is the benefit of this conversation every single day for an hour and a half? What is it doing to me? Is it draining me? Is it triggering me? Is it pulling me back in? Is it keeping me in an unhealthy dance? That's what we talk about when we talk about clarity and advocacy, self-advocacy, because that, believe it or not, even though they might not like it in the moment, when you're saying, I'm cutting this conversation short, or I'm just going to stick to this point, or whatever it is, that is actually the most loving thing. Breaking a pattern of dysfunction, as you pointed out, is loving. And these
Yes.
are the kinds of beautiful things that get unpacked in this room. And we all learn from it. And we begin to realize the myriad ways in which we betray ourselves when it comes to our own boundaries. And what does that mean? And how does that feel? Because ultimately, it's your life to live, and those are your decisions to make. But we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing women that are just giving and giving and giving and getting embroiled, and that wears you down. So there's so many tools. We do not sugarcoat this. Divorce is tough. It's a lot.
Mhm.
But believe you me, there is a better path. There is a way to heal faster and to protect your kids and to reclaim your lives.
Yes. And looking out for yourself is one of the easiest ways to learn how to honor and move yourself forward in a different way. And when you do that, we talked about today, you get to be a better mom, a better boss, a better employee, a better friend. You know, those things are across the board are enhanced when we break patterns and we change rules of engagement that feel yummy to us, that feel nourishing to us, that fill our cup.
Mhm.
So it's a beautiful topic and one that across the board, all of our mamas were like, yeah, I needed this right now.
Sometimes we all need it, divorce or no divorce. And that is the thing that I always want mamas to remember. First of all, divorce can feel so isolating. And, it can feel so chaotic and so overwhelming, but there really is so much opportunity within this painful experience for you to move the needle in the direction you want it to go. Because if you're here in this right now, whether you initiated or you had it dropped in your lap, you're ready. You're ready
Mm.
to heal. You're ready to break patterns. You're ready to set boundaries. You're ready to cut the crap out of your life, get rid of the chaos, and take charge. That's what reclaiming your life is, aligning with your intuition, saying yes to you.
Yes, absolutely. In thought, in action, in heart, all of it. When it all lines up and you have a support team there to help hold that up for you, anything is possible,
Hmm. Yeah. And
including an amicable divorce.
oh, yeah. And you know what? By the way, we hold that vision because the amazing thing, and we see this all the time, amazing things can happen. We all look at divorce like it's just, oh, we're getting thrown down in the dungeon, and life is going to be bleak. And yes, you're going to face hard things. But you know what? Mamas that lean in and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to show up for class and I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to be more present with my kids, the needle in their life starts moving. And we see it every day. Women start getting jobs.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, divorces that were completely at a standstill start moving. There's no coincidence here. There is no coincidence. So when you are feeling so powerless, there is still so much that you can lean in and learn how to take control of.
Yeah.
And part of that is letting go of what is not yours to control.
Mm. Yes. Because when we can let go of all of that, we leave room for so much more that is in alignment with us to come in. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we're watching it each and every week. We get the beautiful pleasure of watching these women. And we graduated one mama today, and that was tugged on our heartstrings a bit because she is just, she, like all our mamas, is so special to us. And we continue to hold them with us. But watching her move from, you said it so beautifully today. You were like, back in the day, I wasn't sure if you would stand up and advocate for yourself and do these things. And we just have watched her blossom into such an incredibly empowered, self trusting, and her divorce isn't over by any stretch,
Mhm.
but she is a different person. And she now is like, I got this.
Now you're going to
And
make me cry
so
again.
there's nothing like it to watch that. And that's the honor and privilege that we have with each and every person that we work
Mm.
with.
It
Yeah.
really is. And it's available to every mama out there. Every mama out there has an opportunity to seize, to do this differently. And it's called the intuitive divorce. And we love what we're doing. And we love walking beside mamas. And we love nothing more than seeing them come alive.
Yeah.
Come alive and reclaim themselves. And that's why it's so damn hard to let them go.
Right. That's right. And why we do what we do. And
Exactly.
it's awesome. And we say all the time, you thought your marriage was hard to get out of. Just wait till you try to leave this group.
All right, that's why Joe made me like promise we're going to have a 2026 retreat.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's happening.
I know.
In-person retreat in 2026.
Well,
So,
there's so much good stuff going on in this community,
mm,
and we actually do have a lot of fun, and we laugh, and we cry, and we feel. And I'm going to tell you something, you get women in a group, in a container, there is just nothing going to get in our way. There's nothing that's going to stop us.
yeah.
So we just wanted to pop in here and share a little bit of that stardust with you today. And I hope that it lands on your heart and makes you feel a little less alone and maybe triggers something inside you that's like just inspires you to say, I want a little bit of that. Yes, I want some of that. I'm not sure how I'm going to get through this divorce, but I want to feel better. And the intuitive divorce is the place where we look at the whole of you. There is, of course, we're dealing with divorce strategy and we're dealing with the legality of it and the finances and the conversations with your kids and the co-parenting realities and logistics. But first and foremost, we're dealing with you. And we're helping you get back to center because when you get back to center, it's a complete game changer.
Yeah. You're the common denominator.
Thank you for
So
another
true.
beautiful class, Joe.
Yeah. It was awesome. I loved
It was,
every
it
second of it.
was amazing. Even the tearful goodbye,
That's right.
which is really just to see you later because we never let you go. But
That's
anyway,
right.
um, and if you're not, please get on our newsletter list and check us out over at intuitivedivorce.com. Follow us on social media. And we're constantly putting out so many beautiful ways to support you and make you feel less alone and help you see this divorce through a new lens.
Yeah. We're here for you. Just got to say yes to you.
Yes to you. Mwah. Thank you.